All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Business Bear Podcast. We're happy to have you along for another episode, and we know you are as excited as I am to talk to our friends Kelli and Katie from the Garrett County Board of Realtors in today to talk about some exciting stuff. But before we go there, let's introduce the podcast to maybe someone that's listening for the first time. So the Business Bear Podcast is your business information podcast that lets you know what's happening in our backyard. We talk with local business owners, officials, organizations, and movers and shakers in the economic development world to let you know what you can expect right here in Garrett County. So as we get started today, remember any opinions shared by the host or their guest are their own and do not reflect that of either Garrett County government or Garrett County business development. All right, guys, we're going to kick off the show today. Again, I am Connor Norman, your business development specialist and your MC to the stars. Here with some of my favorite people, we've got Katie Cantrell and Kelli Hallenbeck from the Garrett County Board of Realtors. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Good.
Doing great. Thank you. Thanks, Connor.
Yeah.
I am so excited to have you here today. We're going to talk about a pretty cool subject that I don't think a lot of people have quite tuned in yet. So this is coming out of the world of realty, housing, rentals, you name it, you guys cover it. Again, I'm happy to have you in here talking about this subject, but before we jump into that, I want to introduce our listeners to you guys. We'll start over here with Kelli, and then we'll hear from Katie. Kelli, kick it off. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name's Kelli Hallenbeck. I moved to Garrett County 13 years ago to be with my now husband. I am a mortgage lender with Truist Bank, and with Garrett County Board of Realtors, I am the chair of the Affordable Housing Committee, and that's what brings me here today.
Nice, nice. Katie, it's all you.
Hi, I'm Katie Cantrell, also known as DCL Homegirl. I am a real estate agent with TaylorMade Deep Creek Sales. And with the Board of Realtors, I sit as secretary on the board, and I am also committee chair of the networking committee.
Very cool. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming in and talking about the Board of Realtors today. I think maybe a lot of people are familiar with real estate agents. They're familiar with the banking aspect, but they don't quite know that there's an organization in our community that helps administer committees and help organize the realty community. So I'm glad to have you guys in here to talk about that just a little bit. Could you kind of go over what the Board of Realtors is and kind of what makes up the membership?
So the Board of Realtors is a association that supports real estate agents with education, continuing education, advocacy. We deal closely with big bills and legislature that's happening statewide, and then we filter that down to other agents in our area so that they know what's going on. So we protect private property rights and promote ethical standards between agents and clients across the board, and we help realtors succeed in our area. And we ensure that the public is served by knowledgeable, trustworthy professionals.
Cool. That's awesome to hear. So again, a lot of people may not have known that there was a Board of Realtors out there. So it's comprised of, I'm assuming, realtors, makers. Tell me a little bit about who makes that up.
The real estate agents that are local, and then there are different affiliates that become affiliate members of the GCBR. GCBR is what we call it. You can have anyone from lenders, home inspectors, title companies, things of that sort as
nice.
Additional members.
Kind of everybody that's involved with the process.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
We all work together. So
Nice, nice. Well, that's good to know. And I guess you guys have several committees, and you're here to talk about a very special committee today. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the committee I chair is the Affordable Housing Committee. I took the chair position a couple years ago and really wanted to make a difference by serving on the committee and obviously chairing it. We all know that there is it's a tough uphill battle for first-time home buyers to get into a home of their own. So my committee is really working hard to find different ways to make that possible. We do have an annual affordable housing forum that the community is invited to, and a lot of times it's during the day, so it's tough for folks if they're working to make it. We did make it virtual as well last year. We'll do the same this year. That's coming up. It's supposed to be in April, but we need to skip the date maybe over to May. So we'll have more information as time goes on that. But we talk about different things like the Grantsville Housing Project, how renters can prepare to become homeowners. We have some landlords come to that forum and talk about how charging affordable rent allows them to save money.
Yeah.
We talk about the current Garrett County Pathways Grant that is available. We have recently run out of money, but that will come back in July. And then, of course, we are working on starting a new grant and bringing that to the community, which we'll talk about more later.
Nice, nice. So tell me a little bit about this Pathways grant. Kind of break that down for me. If I know nothing about it, give me the 101.
So it's all thanks to our commissioners. It is a grant that is awarded to a first-time home buyer, and for the purpose of underwriting, a first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned a home in the past 3 years. So as long as the household or the borrowing parties are under a certain income limit, which is pretty allowing, they qualify to receive $6,875 at time of closing. Garrett County Community Action is who administers the grant.
Okay.
And they keep $600 for their underwriting and their processing of it. And then we take another $60 for the recording of it. It is a second mortgage on the property, and as long as the homeowners stay there for 5 years, they never have to repay that grant.
Wow, that's tremendous. And that can be a huge deal, especially when you're looking to come up with those closing costs for that first time home.
Yeah.
You know, because we have, I don't think it's a secret out there. Sometimes homes can be hard to get, especially when it comes to an affordability standard. So it's nice to see that you guys have a committee that's specifically geared towards helping to solve that problem. And you've got some tools that'll help it. So you mentioned some other types of grants that you guys are looking at, kind of bringing to the forefront. Tell me a little bit about that.
So our committee came up with the idea that we wanted to start a grant that would be funded by members of our board, the affiliates, the public, any available donors. And it's we've named the grant the Garrett County Board of Realtors Homeownership Assistance Fund.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to work in conjunction with Community Trust Foundation, where the funds will be deposited and invested. And then we actually have an agreement now with Community Action to also help run this grant through, just as they do the Pathways.
Wow.
This grant can be bundled with the Pathways grant, so they can get, both grants if the money is available and if they qualify.
That's fantastic. So you can kind of stack these to be even more of an asset.
Correct. And the beauty of this new grant is that it is forgivable at the time of settlement, so it will not be an additional lien on the property. That gets a little heavy stacking if you,
definitely.
if you have too many that are actual liens.
Now, does this go for, let's say, somebody that's purchasing a pre-existing home? Or is this something available to someone that's maybe building a home as well?
So I actually checked into that last year. That was a question I had as well. And as long as they qualify as a first-time home buyer, we can use it with a construction type of deal as well as an existing.
Wow, that's really unique. Very cool. And of course, they can talk to Community Action, reach out to their Service Coordination and Asset Development Department to learn more about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, there are actually classes that are held, I believe, once a month. I'm trying to remember how often they are, but Kelli Bernard over at Community Action is fantastic, and if anyone would want to contact her, she would be the main contact to figure out when these homeowners classes that are great for folks to take before they think about buying a home.
Absolutely. And if anyone's interested in contacting Community Action to reach out to Kelli, you can call 301-334-9431. Again, 301-334-9431. Just ask for Kelli. They'll connect you with her. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's a really big deal. I think a lot of people need to be taking advantage of that, and it's cool that your committee's looking to highlight and support those efforts. So you guys kind of have a big thing coming up too that's kind of going to help towards this. Tell me a little bit about that. I'm ready to put the cat out of the bag. Tell me about the prom coming up.
Yeah, so Kelli and I have actually been able to work really closely together the last couple months. Her committee is putting together this fund, and then my committee is the networking committee that does all the fun events to get the Board of Realtors out in the community and get us connected. So we're teaming up, and we have decided to kick off this fundraiser and to raise some money and awareness. We're going to throw an adult retro prom.
Nice, nice.
Disco ball and all.
Disco ball and all.
Cool. So when is this going to take place?
Soon, March 28th at the Elks in Oakland.
Okay.
Duchess will be providing our food.
Oh, wow.
And it'll be like from what?
5 o'clock until 5 p.m. until 10 p.m.
Okay, so the whole theme is Retro prom? Are we talking like decade style?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
You can come dressed any decade you want. You can come as a caveman. You can
cool.
come from the 80s. Come from future Jetson style. I don't care. Just come dressed as your best and get ready to boogie.
Spectacular.
Yeah, it'll be a fun evening. We're gonna have a king and a queen. You know, there's going to be nominations for that. There will be lots of dancing, great food. You know, great company. Katie and I will speak, I'm sure, at the event. And you know, what better reason to go and buy a prom gown? I mean, who thought in my 50s I'd be buying a prom gown again? So it's kind of exciting.
It is exciting. And, you know, I think in Garrett County, we're really good at throwing these kind of unique, fun events that you can't really find anywhere else. Not to say that adult proms don't happen out there, but this is just something fun you can get into right here in our backyard. And cool, right up here at the Elks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's happening. Remind me of the dates and times again.
March 28th from 5 to 10.
So if someone was interested in buying their tickets, getting ready for that, can they do that now?
Yes. They can either go to GCBR.org, and there's a link just that says Homeownership Prom or something on the page. Or Facebook is a great resource. There's an event page, Retro Prom
For GCBR.
for the GCBR on Facebook too, which has the links and information there.
Okay.
We're also looking for sponsors for the event itself too right now. So if there's any businesses that are wanting to contribute and help us throw a amazing party, we're looking for help to kick this off the ground.
Nice. So what are the sponsorship levels?
So we have a chaperone level, which is $500. For $1,000, you can be part of the court. For $2,500, it's king and queen, or for $5,000, there's a crown level, which is our top sponsors of the evening.
Nice. Okay.
So if I could say, we're going to announce a larger sponsorship opportunity at the event itself. This event is to raise awareness and also to raise funds. We cannot start giving the money to potential home buyers until we have a certain level we need to reach with giving. And so we are starting to receive some sponsorships, and we're super excited about that. We're starting to sell tickets. Awesome. We want to fill the room. We want this to be a big deal. We want this to be an annual, I don't know if it will be a prom, but we plan to have an annual event for this grant. So just really community awareness and then just getting it off the ground.
Well, I can't say how important this subject is and how important these funds are going to be to helping the wider community. And if I take off my podcast host hat and I put on the economic development hat, I can say from a wider Garrett County business community, some of the top concerns in the top 3 for the last 4 or 5 years that I've gone around and asked businesses, housing is one of their top concerns for their employees. When they're trying to bring in from new hires and entry level all the way up to management positions, it's a struggle across the board. So you've got a lot of people that are paying attention to this subject. You've got a lot of people that are interested and want to contribute, make home ownership more of a reality for people in our community. Again, a growing community is a healthy community, and we need to make sure that we're heading that direction. So it's admirable that you guys are putting this on and that the Garrett County Board of Realtors has kind of led this charge with this committee. There are a lot of great efforts going on around our community by many organizations, and you guys are certainly one of them. So we appreciate that. And again, can you just share the details on how somebody might sponsor, buy their tickets, and again, remind me of the date and time?
GCBR.org. There's a link on the homepage that takes you straight to all the prom information. You can sponsor there. You can buy tickets there. You can also find information on Facebook. There's an event page, the GCBR Retro Prom. If you just type that in the search bar in the events tab, it should pop up pretty quickly. And it will be March 28th from 5 to 10 at the Elks in Oakland.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for sharing that, ladies. I think we've certainly learned a lot here. Of course, it's nice to learn more about the Garrett County Realty Board. It's nice to learn that there are committees that are focused on helping the industry and helping people, of course, obtain and own their own place. So it's spectacular. You know, I really appreciate the work you guys do. Is there, opportunities for the wider public to get involved with your efforts or to continue to support you guys?
The GCBR is always looking for new affiliates to join us, and we welcome any sort of business around the county that wants to collab with us and work on getting this type of information out to the public and new ideas and all that stuff. I can't think of anything else.
Great.
Just looking for our different events that we hold, that are open to the public, like the housing forum is, again, something we really look forward to every year. We do change up at times the panelists, just to keep the conversations and what we're trying to cover to, things that are really happening right now in our community. So,
Nice.
Yeah. And we also, I'm just going to throw this out there. On March 12th at Mountain State, the GCBR is hosting the community after hours event. So that's a great opportunity to come and put names and faces together, and we'll have information on prom there as well for any last minute.
Great. Now, are you going to have any tickets for sale there, or is it all an online platform?
I think tickets are all online platform, but we would probably be very welcome to help somebody do that sitting there. It's pretty easy.
the thing we forgot to mention, at the prom itself, we are going to have a silent and a live auction.
Oh, cool.
We will have a live auctioneer there to we're still looking for some of the things we're going to give away, or I guess auction away, I should say. So any donations are accepted for auction items.
I totally forgot about that part. Yeah.
Awesome. So hopefully someone listening that might have an opportunity to attend or maybe donate towards the cause might have something else to contribute to that effort. So very cool.
So we recently did a video with some other folks to, again, spread the word about the grant that we are looking to have available hopefully sometime soon. And we went to two families who took advantage of the Pathways grant, and we videoed them at their home. One was a single mother with her son, and the other were expecting parents, and this was their first time buying, and both really probably would not have had an opportunity to own a home without the Pathways grant.
Wow.
And so they told their stories, and we are actually going to have them come to the event as our guests and speak at the event itself.
That is so cool. So you can hear firsthand how this grant is, of course, changing lives. So cool to have that.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, again, I appreciate you ladies coming in and just sharing about this. I hope that our listeners found some great value here, and that, of course, the halls are packed at the Elks in March for this great organization, for this great cause. I hope you guys obviously sell out, and that it's a night that we maybe have on an annual basis, or if we have more events like it that support, again, a great initiative. So appreciate you coming in and telling me about this. So at the end of every episode, I kind of open our microphones up to our guests. So if you got anything else you want to plug, maybe you just want to reiterate some of the things we talked about here today, this is your time. Tell me about it.
Okay, so just to recap, on March 12th at Mountain State, GCBR is hosting the Community After Hours event. Come, mingle, get more information about prom. Like Connor suggested, maybe we'll give away 2 tickets for somebody who's in attendance. That would be cool. And then March 28th is the big event, prom, from 5 to 10 at the Elks. And then sometime in the future, we're going to be having the Affordable Housing Forum.
Correct. And we really, really would love you all to please come buy the tickets, come attend, and the prom. Let's have some fun, but also for a great cause.
Yes.
Nice. So if anyone wanted to keep up to date on the latest happening with GCBR, where would they go?
Either gcbr.org or just follow them on Facebook. That's probably the quickest way to get the social media updates. Anything that's coming up in the horizon is posted in there.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much for coming in and sharing this information. Again, that was Kelli Hallenbeck and Katie Cantrell from the Garrett County Board of Realtors in to tell us about their event and everything they've got going on. Appreciate you ladies coming in. We appreciate all of you for tuning in to the Business Bear podcast. Remember to be following us at our Garrett County Business Development Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn for when all your future episodes of the Business Bear podcast drop. Until next time, folks, it's your host, Connor Norman here. I'll see you all on the other side.